Hi, and welcome to McGolf. Let's turn some ferrules the right way. Or is it the left way? I can't remember. Hey, welcome back. You know, in that build that we've been doing for the father and son, the clubs have dried and it's time to turn ferrules. And what's a ferrule? Well, a ferrule is a little plastic injected molded piece that was originally made to give a smooth transition from the shaft to the hosel, particularly on woodwoods. They would be kind of shapened so that they would go from the shaft and go right onto the hosel, and then they would do what's called whipping, putting a nylon string on it, very much like the Ping I2s. And you would shape that, and they would give a much prettier look, and that's what they are, very decorative. Now they're not. We don't do that so much because we're into metal woods, but we do have a variety of ferrules. Typical ferrule. This one normally they come black. This one has a chrome beauty ring, and they come in normally a couple varying sizes, a couple for irons and a couple for woods. And the couple for irons are the 355 and the 370. Now there are other older styles in 277 and out, but those aren't made hardly anymore. In the woods, you'll see 335, 350, and quite possibly 400, depending on the age of the club. In addition to just a regular ferrule, just like we had here, you notice how it's just flat top and bottom, is we have a collared ferrule, and you notice how it has a bit of a shoulder, and that shoulder sets into a recess in a hosel to kind of give it just a tad added strength. I wouldn't say it's a make or break thing, but some will say it helps prevent a shear point. Okay, that could probably be the deal. They also have what's called bushings, and what that does is if your shaft is small and your hosel is large, you can put this in, and it's kind of an adapter to go from the small shaft to the large hosel. And you notice how it has the decorative piece on the top. Another kind of an adapter ferrule, and this came for a Ping, like an ISI. And the reason why I would call this into a ferrule is because once it gets to the top here, you're not putting anything else on it. So the shaft inserts into the head, and you're basically done from there. Now what they started adding here as of late is color. You can personalize your ferrules. You can get them in white, or personalize your clubs. You can get them in greens and blues and reds, grays. It's just a rainbow of flavors. So it just depends on how much you want to personalize your club as how you want your clubs to look. Now, how do we get them turned? Well, in the day, now if you're only going to do this, if you're kind of the weekend guy and you only have one set of clubs, if you can get into a vise and you get a piece of emery cloth, and it's about the width of this belt right here, you can take it and put this in a vise and kind of give it a shoe shine all the way around until it smooths out. Now what you want to do before doing that is taping the top here and taping the bottom, because that emery cloth will abrade when it's there. Not my most favorite, but if you're only doing one set and that's all you have the time for, then hey, it works fine. Another way is people have talked about just putting acetone on here and kind of melting it. I'm not real big with, I use chemicals, but as a major contributor to changing the shape of the ferrule, not my most favorite thing. And then the second is more of a mechanical way, and you're seeing the belt sander, 1x42 belt sander, goes 1800 RPMs. Now again, in the day we had a paper belt. It was like this, and you had to put, and especially in graphite, you would put a piece of tape again at the backside to prevent from cutting it. Now we have these felt belts, and the felt belts are very, very gentle, and you don't necessarily need to cover up hardly anything. And he's like, well, why are you doing that? Well, I'm just used to it. It's kind of a habit. It makes me feel better. Do I have to? No, but that's just what it is. Now, This belt's going to turn into it like this, and I'm going to turn the head into it like that. What I'm looking for is a nice smooth transition. Now you can tell a club maker when he walks into a shop, because the first thing he's going to do is start doing like this, and because it becomes a trademark of the quality of work that the club maker is doing. If this is straight on and it's got a nice shine and is very smooth, you know you got yourself a quality guy. If it's undersized or has monster dents in it or has a lot of grain, probably not there yet. So let me show you. I'm going to do a couple here in front of you, because you don't need to see all 8 or 10 or 12 or however many I'm doing. And then you'll be able to see that, and then I'm going to finish it with a little bit of the acetone, and then we're going to go to our Glanz Watch wheel. Once you get down to the end of this, and then we'll talk a little bit more. So here comes the noise. I just barely lay it in there. That's about the consistency I want. And get the next one up. Notice I don't have to lay it right in there a whole lot. Take just a little bit off at a time. That's the good thing about the felt belt. There we go. Turn that off, and then I'm going to get some acetone. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back to doing the ferrule. I got some terry cloth, or not terry cloth, some paper towel, and liberally applied a lot of acetone to it. The stuff evaporates pretty quick, so you really want to get working well. So get it going just in the opposite direction, or 90-degree direction that you were turning. It's called cross hatching. And it helps smooth that out just a little bit. See how nice that's starting to look? Not quite all the way cleaned up yet, but we're getting there. Okay, we get this one, and then you're just rubbing really quick back and forth, and you're putting a shine on it. See how it turned into a nice shine? And there's a little bit of green in there. And then what we do is give that a chance to dry up. And what I've done is I've applied some Glanz Watch. Put it up on here, and you can see how it's dried into kind of a yellowish hardness. Okay. I'll open that up. I'm just going to turn into it again, just like I did with the belt. And it just gives it a really brilliant shine, if you can see that. Just turns it right around. You can see that you can actually see in the blue and the colors that actually what you're doing with it. Okay. So, last but not least, we get in here and we wipe off all that excess. Again, everything is 90 degrees from one another, and boom, you have yourself a really nice blue ferrule that will make the customer happy, and it will last a really long time because you just put that protective coating on it with the Glanz Watch, and we should be in pretty good shape. So that's turning a ferrule. That's what ferrules are for. If you have any questions about the ferrule, give me a call or email me at clubmaker@mcgolf.net, or ask a question at the bottom of this video. And if you like this, like the video and subscribe to the McGolf channel. There's going to be more tips and tricks and how-tos as they're coming along. And as this progresses, I think it's going to be vitally informational for the beginner, amateur, and expert club maker. So this is Jim McCleary saying thanks for visiting McGolf, and let your scores go low.